Darren, first thing, you've had a couple of days now with the players. You've had a chance to have a look at them, see what they're like. What have you made of the squad so far on your first couple of days?
No, really good. Really impressed with them as a group. The commitment that they've shown, giving myself and the staff, has been excellent. And in terms of me getting to know them personally, that will grow and that will develop. But their enthusiasm, commitment, their camaraderie amongst each other is first class. And I've really enjoyed the last couple of days working really closely with them. And yeah, I've enjoyed it.
How hard is it for a manager? And I know you've probably had this before, where you've come in straight away and you perhaps don't know any of the players who you're going to be relying upon to do these things. So how do you, for want of a better phrase, how do you quickly get them on side and communicate with them effectively? How do you do that?
Yeah, that's just time spent together. Time spent together on the pitch, time spent together in the classroom, time spent together whilst you're in and around the football club, having individual one-on-one meetings with them, group meetings. I think it's just grabbing every moment of the day really to get to know them as individuals and collectively as a group, and also them to getting to know me. There's none better than having that one-on-one or that group relationships. I think it's really, really important. I think it's prevalent in today's game as a manager, getting to know your players and understanding your players and them understanding you. I look at it as a two-way aspect. It's never one directional way. It's a two-way really in terms of the communication, and certainly over the last couple of days I've tried to have as much contact with them as I possibly can, and over the days and weeks ahead we'll get more of that together.
When you've assessed what you've got as well, I mean, everybody kind of knows the issues around centre forwards and such. When you come into a club, do you think about different ways to play? Do you think about different shape, or to try and get the best out of what you actually have got rather than what you haven't got?
Correct, yeah. And it's trying to do that both aspects really quickly to assess what you've got, because it might not necessarily mean that there's certain shapes that the team's been playing before might not have been suited to everybody. What you try and do is when you're working with a group of players together, you'll start seeing that there's certain relationships starting to develop. You see that there's certain understandings starting to develop with one or two, or there's certain systems where it might bring one or two more alive and to the forefront that we might not seen before. So there's all those aspects really to quickly grab with the group and understand the group as much as possible. The good thing for us as well is getting one or two back off the treatment table, which gives the team that bit more depth, and it changes the dimensions of the team, which is really, really important. I think from now to the end of the season, would you see us apply different shapes and systems and tactics? Yes, because the league calls for that. This league's very different in terms of, having teams that will play what you'd probably deem more direct, or teams that play football. There's no right or wrong way with it. It's down to the individuals, really how they see fit. And that's what this team is. The line between success and failure is very, very thin. So that's why you've got to be prepared, energized, be adaptable to change and implement change very, very quickly. And the players will start to get and understand that really for me and the staff utilising every skill set this team's possibly got going forward.
It helps, I suppose, that you know League One quite well, having recently been here up until the start of this season. So you kind of know shapes of teams and you know the lay of the land, really. How much does that help you when you're coming into a club maybe halfway through a season and you're already very much aware of both the standard of the league and how teams can hurt you?
Yeah, correct. And that is the case in terms of, understanding League One and coming in just over halfway of the season gone now, and understanding what this league presents, understanding the different arenas in terms of the different grounds that we'll visit and see, and understanding the temperament of those clubs really always stands you in good stead. So that's certainly a help. In understanding League One, yes, it is, which I've mentioned before, in terms of the different styles of play that you can expect and see, and how teams utilise that to the best of their ability. And we've got to be prepared for that, be well rehearsed for that. And one thing what I will say is that the way the fixtures turn out, the games never follow in sequence in terms of the style of play. There's so many different combinations, different styles of play that that's where we have to be adaptable and understand that from our perspective going forward. So I'm looking forward to it. It's a challenge. It's a different challenge, but it's a challenge for us that myself and the team have to be ready and equipped for.
You talked when you came to the club about the owners and about the director of football as well. How close do you envisage that relationship being with Dave as to both how you build this team in the short term and the long term? If you can, just give us a bit of an insight into what you see that relationship being like.
It has to be a close relationship. It is a close relationship. It's a daily contact relationship. It's both of us knowing exactly and on the same page in terms of where we see the football and the development and the progression of this football club. So that relationship will grow stronger. That relationship needs to continue to grow in order for the benefit of the football club going forward. So we are in the same working environment on a daily basis. When we're playing games, David may be away watching games or making sufficient contacts because his job and role is to develop and present ideas to myself as is for me to present back to him. But the biggest thing, in order for it, we've got to be aligned in moving the club forward. So that's how we see the relationship. We're on the phone late at night. I don't think there's no hours of the day that's really exempt from us, really. And I think it's really important and that shows our commitment for the football club to move it forward. There's no out of hours for us. We are there for the here and now. And if it means we have to go 24 hours around the clock to move this club forward, then so be it. We're committed towards that. And that's how the relationship is, really. As I said, you know, from the initial contact Dave made to myself, his energy, his enthusiasm, his vision for the club going forward was second to none, really. And to break down our working relationship as well, that was put to the forefront as well. So all those kind of things, it gives people an insight into the working relationship myself and David will have going forward. And I'm sure that relationship will grow stronger because there'll be more challenges ahead where we need to be on the same page in making sure that we're doing everything possible for the development and the progression of this football club.
Obviously, part of that job is to look for players, and I'd seen about you. You know, you're open to free agents and stuff. I have to address the rumour with you that people have talked about Dwight Gale, a player you'll know from your time at West Bromwich Albion. What, if anything, can you say about that at this stage?
Yeah, no, I can understand people linking, you know, in terms of Dwight's position that he's in and our time that we spent when we was at West Brom. Wonderful human being, a good footballer, can see the fit, what he would be in terms of potentially where fans would probably be putting sums together in terms of here. But as a manager, I sit here and say, no, there's nothing in it really. So I can understand everybody surmising that. But I mean, as a manager, say that's not the case.
Fair enough. To look at the game at the weekend, it's a big one for many reasons. It's your first game. You'll want the supporters behind you. The manager in the opposite dugout is obviously a manager who's still very well loved here for what he achieved. It's got all the hallmarks of the six-pointer, really, hasn't it? I suppose it's a great game to get started in. Yeah,
and you know, first and foremost, Darryl's done fabulous work here. That's number one. Number two, what a fantastic human being, an excellent individual, somebody that I'm well respected in the game, and somebody that I just love his character and the person that he is. I'm looking forward to seeing him tomorrow after the game. That is, once we've competed against each other, it is what it is. We know that. But yes, it does present that because where both teams are, simple as that really. And it's a game that I expect no free yards given at all in terms of the game and what it means to both clubs. It's my first game. It's away at Cheltenham, so I'm really looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to seeing our away support behind the goal, and I know the Vale fans will be as vocal as ever, as loud as ever, and I would echo that for the team tomorrow. So we're really looking forward to the game. They've hit a bit of form, Cheltenham, in terms of the last couple of results. So we expect it to be another tough game, a difficult game. But as I said, this is League One, and these are the games you're expected to come up against, and you're expected to stand up against. And we know that to get the right result, we're going to have real good performances right across the pitch.
Mentioned the away support, 750 of them who are going there as well. That's a real good backing, and I imagine a lot of them are eager to see you on the touchline in that tracksuit with the Port Vale badge on it as well. If you can, just a message for them as to what you want, what you need, what you'd like to hear from them throughout that 90 minutes tomorrow.
Yeah, first and foremost, to all the Port Vale fans, it's an honour for me to take part, that be the manager in the first game tomorrow. I'm really honoured. I'm really chuffed. I'm really looking forward to the game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. And as I said, get behind the team, sing your hearts out for the players, be vocal as loud as you ever have been. And I'm really looking forward to catching up with you all tomorrow. Have a safe journey there, and myself and the lads will see you all tomorrow. And thanks for all your support as well, and thanks for coming out for us as well. It's greatly appreciative.